Everybody, this is Trevor, and thank you for coming to the show today. Today, I want to talk about something that I have found out, some research, and I'd like to share it with you. Now, this comes directly from the National Library of Medicine, NIH. Okay, so this is right from the horse's mouth. Okay, it's a study on vitamin D relating to COVID. And this study comes out of Italy. And I'll get into further details as to why it's not coming out anywhere else. But for now, let's just go with this study from the National Library of Medicine from Italy. What they have discovered is that vitamin D administration results in a decreased risk of death by 51%. I will read that again. That is verbatim on the National Library of Medicine. Vitamin D administration results in a decreased risk of death by 51%. That's part 1 of 2 of this study. The second part of their study they found was that vitamin D administration results in a decreased risk of ICU admission by 72%. Okay, so what's that? That says, take your vitamin D and it's going to protect you from death from COVID by 51%. Take your vitamin D and you have a 72% decreased risk of going into the ICU, the intensive care unit of a hospital, by 72%. This is factual. You can look it up. National Library of Medicine, an Italian study. So now we have that aside there. It's just more proof that vitamin D is really good for you in keeping that, the cough and sniffles and all that other stuff away. Now, why? Now, these studies now, they're coming out more. You can go onto YouTube here or Rumble or any other thing, and you will find these studies hopefully not being suppressed anymore. But this is just, like, why was this suppressed? Well, let's see. To go to, your local Walmart or wherever, grocery store, drugstore, and get a bottle of vitamin D, you can get a couple hundred pills of vitamin D, that 1,000 international units. You can get 200 of those pills in a bottle for $10? It just drives me, batty. I sit here and I think for 3 years I've been sitting here going, why hasn't anyone, why? And there were people like myself, just a layman. And there were doctors and scientists coming out saying, no, everything that the government's doing is wrong. Okay, what did the government tell us to do? Stay inside. We got to, flatten the curve, so we're going to lock everyone up in their home for a couple weeks. Okay, and, don't go outside. And then when you do go outside, the government says, hey, you got to slap a mask on. You have to use the hand sanitizer before you go into the store. You have to follow the arrows down the aisles of the store. And guess what? Get a COVID injection every, whatever the up-to-date is now. I don't know, how long does it last? And if it lasts a few months, well, you better keep getting another one. To what point, to what end are people going to continue to do that? If that's what you want to do, hey, voluntarily do it. But more and more studies are coming out now of the lifestyle choice that we were told was horrible. Don't go to the beach. Don't go for a hike in the park. Don't go outside. Don't get some vitamin D. Don't go for a walk and get exercise. Don't take care of yourself. No. Stay inside your house. Take the pharmaceuticals companies. Take that injection. Wear the mask. You hand say all that garbage that they told us. Never from the beginning, at least from the... And I think they are the fringe minority. I think people like Trudeau and all these other people in the world, they are the true fringe minority. And they were able to suppress this kind of evidence Because look at how much money could a pharmaceutical company make? They're not going to make any money by, the government could have easily sent a bottle of vitamin D to everyone's house. The amount of money that they spent on COVID vaccinations, I mean, it was unreal how many millions and billions of dollars spent on COVID vaccinations that could have been easily just spent on, hey, we're going to send everybody a bottle of vitamin D. It sounds so simplistic. Yet this simple, cheap vitamin that you don't even have to buy in a pill form, you go outside. But we were told to stay inside. Stay inside. Don't go to the beach. Don't go to the forest. Don't sit, don't go out. Don't breathe in the fresh air. Don't get the free vitamin D from the orange light that shines in the sky here. No. Don't do any of that. So, and then look at anyone who did try to break those the politicians' rules, right? People that went surfing, went to the beach, went to the park, took their kids to the your local park so they could sit on the swings. Look what happened to those people. They were taken down, threatened, given fines, thousands of dollars of fines, jail time by police who were enforcing these ridiculous COVID measures by the politicians. Okay, I have, levels of respect are completely gone for a lot of groups of people, a lot of groups of professions. Okay, police would go out, so people that took the risk, hey, I'm going to go surfing, and it's exercise, it's getting out there. Police went and arrested these people. You try to walk through a store here in Canada without a mask on, and the employees throw you out. And if you don't comply with the employees, they'll call the police. And police were more than willing and I seemed happy to hand out fines that were thousands of dollars. And I guess if you ramped it up even more, they would threaten you with violence. So. This whole bullshit that's been going on for 3 years now, I hope people are awakened. I hope all, the woke crowd now are awakened to all this information that's floating around on the internet. It's been on the internet for years, but it has been suppressed by the fringe minority of people like your Anthony Fauci's and Theresa Tam's and definitely Justine Trudeau. But there's no money to be made in selling vitamin D pills. And especially if you can get it for free, just go out your bloody front door. But, being here in the Northern Hemisphere, had the government had come out and said, this is what I maintained from the beginning. I maintained it. We need to have more of a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you're eating quality food. Take your vitamins. There's always been, for years, as long as I've been alive, people are like, oh, you're getting sick? Well, take a bit more zinc. Vitamin C. We're always told, get a bit more of your vitamins and minerals. But none of that was told to us. So, again, I can't believe these studies have come out, and I'm like, these should have been out 3 years ago. This is the kind of stuff politicians should have been saying, decrease your risk of death by 51% by taking vitamin D. And decrease your risk of going into an ICU by 72% just by taking vitamin D or getting it by the sun? I hope all you people that supported all these mandates, these COVID mandates, are now going, geez, man, we were all wrong. Come on. It didn't take a rocket scientist or, to figure out. Look, you want to beat the cold and flu season, you got to stay healthy. And I'm so disappointed in how could I expect anything different from politicians? How could I expect any politician to come out and say, hey, you know what? Make sure you're taking your vitamins, you're getting outside, getting exercise, eating the best you can. And no, they go to the route of, they stay inside, sit around, eat potato chips. I don't care what you're eating. And not one politician came out and says, hey, hope everyone's eating the best they can. They didn't take any of the money that they spent on all these pharmaceutical drugs and made sure. Maybe they want. I don't even. They didn't take any of that money to put towards healthy lifestyles, and it's coming out more now that people who died directly from COVID. I mean, there's comorbidities like people are obese. People were old. They're over 80 years old. I just really, really hope that all these people that supported all these mandates for the past 3 years are starting to read more of these studies and go, yeah, you know what? What we really needed to do was have a good, loving, caring way of trying to relate to these things that come around. And vitamin D is a perfect example how you can remain healthy from the cold and flu season. So, anyways, it's a bit of a rant here right now, but this is factual information. Go to the National Library of Medicine and you will find, yes, vitamin D, take it. You can reduce your risk of death by 51% and reduce your risk of going into an ICU by 72%. But I guess that doesn't make money for the healthcare is it's an industrial complex. The healthcare industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industrial complex. These are large corporations, working hand in hand with government. They're making tons of money. So there's no money to be made in people living a healthy lifestyle. No money in that. There's no money in that. But there's lots of money being made by jamming people into hospitals. Getting them to take, whatever the pharmaceutical companies come out with and say you should have this particular medical procedure. There's so much that happened with COVID that it was so wrong. Oh my God, I'm going to keep making all these videos because I told you so. I told you so. I've been saying this. I knew back in March 2020. I thought, hey, this 2 weeks to flatten the curve, it didn't feel right. I'm like, my first thought was too is, well, is government going to shut down printing the money? Are they going to, maybe not tax people for a couple of weeks? Are they going to try to? Because, hey, they're trying to save people. But did they come out and say these things? They didn't come out and say, hey, live a healthy lifestyle. They just said, stay at home. Stay at home and cower and hide and don't do anything. Just, wear your mask and get the injections and all this. So, look, I knew by the end of April 2020, I thought this is all BS. Everything the government was telling us to do. There was no... Anyways, I hope that you start to research this a lot more and look into this information that was suppressed 3 years ago. It should have been out. It should have been out that vitamin D is a very vital part of staying healthy. And how do you do that? You can get it through supplements. You can go outside, get the sunshine, go to the beach, go to your local forest and go hiking and whatnot. That's what we should have been doing, and that's what I've been maintaining for 3 years now. But hey, what do I know? I guess I'm not just some scientist. I'm just some guy researching stuff online. So there we go. I hope everybody's doing well and stay free.